Here's another Wildcat All In with Weber State senior Lauren Ho from the Wildcat softball team. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
We're excited to get to know you a little bit. And what a career you've had. Multiple All-Big Sky honors, an MVP honor. You've been a part of some amazing championship teams here at Weber State. And you're in the top 10 in multiple categories in Weber State, probably too many to mention, including second in home runs. You may not even know about all that stuff, but you really have had an amazing career here at Weber State. When you look back at your career here, you've been here 5 years. How much have you changed as from a freshman to now?
Oh gosh, I think just like mentality-wise, you come in as a freshman, you're like, I'm just a nobody, and I tried to be. You don't want to come in be that freshman who's like thinking they're all that, and then just kind of maturing into this leadership role that Coach Amicone needs and wants from everybody. So I've just loved being able to see that in me and seeing that, when someone needs something, I can be there for them. So I think that's something that I love seeing in myself.
Yeah. You've been a part, as we said, of so many amazing teams and moments. Are there a couple moments that stand out as just great memories that you've had here? Yeah,
there's so many. I think the last year, Sacramento State, Faith hit a walk-off. I think that was when we clinched Big Sky too, on senior day, and we lifted Faith up in the huddle. Me and BMO did, and we're a little sore still, but no. And then our series, all Sacramento State here, but against Sacramento our freshman year. The first doubleheader on Friday got canceled, so because of a blizzard it came in, so we were shoveling snow that whole day. The whole team went out there, and some football players. We texted all the athletes. And they all came out and we shoveled the snow off by hand, and then we played a doubleheader on Saturday and we swept. So that was cool. That was when I hit my first home run, and it was a grand slam, and it was great because there was all freshmen on base, and our class is so cute and special, and we were all on base for that. So super happy I got to share that moment with them.
Well, and so as we get to know you a little bit more, you mentioned your sister, Faith, who obviously you guys are twins. What's it been like growing up throughout your life with a twin?
Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. I wish everybody could have a twin, really. But we have this cute little saying, it's like having a sleepover with your best friend every night. But you don't have to go home. And it's just been so awesome. I can't imagine doing life without her. We know lots of twins who have split up after, going to college. And I'm just like, how could you do that? I just love spending time with Faith and doing life with her.
So you grew up mostly in Walla Walla, Washington, but you also lived in a different country for a couple of years when you were young.
Yeah. So I was born in Idaho. Then my parents moved to Romania to be missionaries there and start a church there at Calvary Chapel. And so we lived there for 2 years when I was 6 to 8, and then moved to Walla Walla, Washington. That's where my mom's family is. So we moved there, and it was just a kind of crazy experience. Walla Walla is a little tiny town, and super happy to call that my home.
You played softball, obviously, growing up too. How did you get into softball? And you also played a lot of other sports too, right?
Yeah. Well, I have two aunts who live in Walla Walla, and they're aunts, but they're more like cousins, and age-wise, we're only 8 years apart. So I just thought they were the coolest girls ever. And they both played softball growing up. Had this cute little BMGSA league in Walla Walla. And so I was like, Mom, I want to be like Lexi and Allie. Can I go play softball too? And she's like, Lauren, we can't afford softball right now. We just moved here from a foreign country. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so my grandma heard that my mom said that, and she drug us, Faith and I, down to the Parks and Rec, and she got us signed up that day. It was halfway through the season already. But found a really great coach there. He was the local eye doctor, still in contact with him. But it's a great story, and just mostly did softball because my aunts did. And I owe it to my grandma still. I still tell her that all the time. I'm like, thanks to you, Grandma, I got a scholarship. I'm here playing on the stage, all because of you. But and then my dad tried to get us plugged in with as many sports as possible growing up. So played soccer, volleyball, basketball, and softball until we hit high school. And then in high school, we had to cut down to 3 sports. So we did basketball, volleyball, and softball, for every season we could,
So how do you and Faith together get from Walla Walla to Weber State?
People ask us that all the time. But a lot of it is due to Sacramento State. So we were just playing a travel ball tournament, and one of their coaches was walking by. I was playing second base at the time. I was playing shortstop. And we rolled a double play, and she was like, that was awesome. You guys need to come out to a camp. So we got a time out of basketball season and went down to do a camp. But my dad was like looking at the stuff, and he's like, they keep losing to Weber State. Like, what? Like, Weber State's number 1. Sacramento State's typically 2 or 3. You know, they're really good. And he's like, let's get a hold of Weber State. And so we had a girl on our high school team who was committed here. And we were like, Lauren, could you give us your coach's contact and stuff? And so she did. And so we contacted her and set up a time to do a camp. So we did one weekend, drove to Sacramento on Thursday, did a camp on Friday, drove all the way Saturday to here and did a camp on Sunday. But it was kind of crazy. We were driving through a blizzard, just typical Utah weather, and woke up, and it was just the prettiest thing I've ever seen. Like the day after a blizzard here, stayed with our friends up on the mountain, and it was gorgeous. And yeah, shortly after, Coach committed us.
Kind of rare that you initiated the contact, I guess, and here you are as star players, memorable players at Weber State. And also off the field or in the classroom, you've excelled there too. You've earned multiple academic honors, and you're going to be a graduate here soon in a double major in athletic therapy and exercise science.
Yeah,
so congratulations on that too.
Thank you. The COVID year really helped me out there. Yeah, I was so close. They're kind of similar majors. I was really close to doing them both, and I'm like, might as well. So I didn't have that like chill senior year, but I got a double major out of it. Yeah. So it's kind of awesome.
So what are your plans when we're not done yet, but when softball and college are done? What do you think you want to do?
Well, I definitely want to keep sticking around softball. So gonna try and graduate, assist somewhere, get a master's degree, and continue just to share that love that I have for softball. I think it's rare. People still love softball at my age. So just continuing to share that with other people and start coaching it now instead of playing it.
Well, let's get to know you a little bit more with a couple other questions. When you're not playing softball, what are some things you like to do? Oh,
that's a good one. I just love spending time with my family. It's funny because they travel everywhere we go, and sometimes we get to sign out with them and hang out with them. And a lot of people like go sightseeing, they go to dinner, all this stuff. We just love to be with each other, so we'll like go back to the hotel and just hang out and talk. So it's kind of boring, but just being with my family. My brother has 2 little kids now, so being an aunt is like the best thing ever. And hanging out with them, if I could, I'd do that every day.
There you go. What's one thing you couldn't live without?
Probably my Bible. Love that daily thing for me.
Yeah, it gives you hope and inspiration, I'm sure, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite food?
Favorite food? I think it's got to be pizza. So versatile. It could be a white sauce one day. It could be a red sauce the other.
Can't go wrong. Yeah. Do you have a favorite sports team or an athlete?
Sports team. I need to get more plugged in with the sports teams, but I think Jock Peterson is hilarious. He wears like that pearl necklace, and he's kind of like a gangster. So watching him, so I've kind of become a Giants fan through that.
There you go. You have a place you'd love to go, a dream vacation?
Yeah, I knocked Hawaii off the list this last year. So maybe like Bali or somewhere fun.
So you must like beaches.
I love beaches.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just kind of in my blood. So yeah.
Well, that's good. You're a long way from the beach here, but maybe you'll get there again, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Lauren, is there something that maybe people don't know about you?
That's a good one. Yeah, so just recently my dad opened up a church in Idaho. So he did one in Romania, one in Idaho. And so Faith and I help him with worship on Sundays when we're there, which isn't often, but when we can be. So just maybe playing instruments. I don't think people know that about us. And just trying to help out wherever we can.
That's great. Yeah. It's been a pleasure for Wildcat fans to watch you here the last 5 years. Look forward to more, and thanks for being all in here at Weber State and what you've done for the Wildcats.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys. Go Cats!